Snowflake.
Welcome to Nerdy, Drunk, and Stoned. It is Thursday, July the 2nd of all things. It's already July. My name is Adam. I'm joined as always by Mike and Jason.
What's up?
Guys, we've been playing a lot of PayDay 2, even though it's a 7-year-old game.
We're only 8 hours in. It costs us $1. That's why we're playing it.
It cost you $1.
I got it
$3.
for free.
It cost me $2. You get your copy for free?
I think it was like last year they were giving PayDay 2 out for free.
Yeah, I think I remember that actually.
So it's on the way back up. It's gone from free to $1.
Wow.
It's on the up and up. During the summer sale on Steam. Yeah. And so the more I'm playing it, I don't want to call it an MMO, but it definitely has kind of like an MMO progression in the sense of like, I guess you just level up and get stronger and level your perks so you can play harder and harder missions. I mean,
the leveling of yourself and gear definitely plays into that, because there are missions that it's not necessarily skill based. Like, you need certain equipment upgrades or you're not going to be able to ever
I guess you're right.
imaginably be able to do it.
That bank job, if we didn't all have, none of us did have it, that quick lock picking. If we had that, we probably could have beat the mission by the time the cops arrived. But if you don't
just
have
popping
it,
all those safety deposit boxes, bam, bam,
enjoy
bam,
getting one bank bag and running out and getting shot in the street. Congratulations. So it's a good game. I mean, I enjoyed PayDay 1 a lot, and I like that company a lot. I think they do Killing Floor also. And I really liked Killing Floor 1. And I played Killing Floor 2 a bit also. So I like the games that they put out.
It's got I mean, obviously, there's a whole huge difference between just first person, third person, and game types, but it still gives me a little bit of a Hitman vibe. Just sneak, just the aspect of the stealth.
I can see that.
And the settings that you're put in. And the Hitman games I love. And it has sort of it's like a first person Hitman that turns into sort of a GTA style shootout where you have a mountain of bodies.
I think most of the missions can be done stealth. Not all of them. I think maybe it's like 90% of the missions can be done stealthily. So it's nice. It's nice that you can like start a mission doing it stealthily, but as soon as you fuck up, you can like go into firefight mode. And it's nice that the mission doesn't just end right there. Like, oh, you fell, do it again. Because that would be like redundant. But because you can handle it, well, shit hit the fan, fuck it, let's go. Like that's a pretty neat aspect. And the fact that you can complete missions like that. Like, let's just shoot our way out.
It's fun. It sounds so stupid, but I actually like putting the mask on, which is ironic because that's all we do now in public, which we all hate to do. But I enjoy that part because it's kind of like game on once that happens in PayDay.
So they actually did do Killing Floor. They do Dead by Daylight. That's the other game.
Oh, that game. I did not play that game. So
I've watched a lot of streams of it. It's one of those games that looks fun, but it looks fun to watch, but I would never play it. Like, I don't enjoy the whole, I'm gonna chase 4 people around and try to kill them, and I keep tripping over wood, or that guy jumped in a window. I just get too frustrated and be like,
so what's the basics of Dead by Daylight? Because I've heard of it, but I'm not sure if I've ever watched the stream.
It's like
I haven't played it.
It's that genre, like the Friday the 13th, all that shit, where one person is the killer, there's like 4 survivors, and you guys just work together to get out alive. Activate 3 or 4 generators to open an exit to get out the door. Something like that. Basically, hit 4 objectives to open an escape route. The killer like puts you up on hooks, and so the other people will have like a minute to try to save you, and you have to. So as the killer, you have to decide, am I going to just camp this one guy and give them a free minute to do whatever they want? Or do I want to go out and still guard generators? while they can free this guy. It's a 4-player co-op against the killer. And those are fun. They look fun. But I think in execution I find them more frustrating than anything.
I guess it makes sense. The only game similar I think that I've played is the Friday the 13th game.
That game looked really cool too, but I thought it would it looked cool, but it looked like it would get old really fast.
I played it. I downloaded it, and just like you said, Jason, it got old really fast.
Yeah, so... it looked like it'd be fun for like 4 or 5 hours, and then just be like, all right, it's the same shit every game.
Yeah. Because you can't really take on Jason.
Yeah, I think being Jason would be fun.
Yeah, but you can't do anything to. You can't kill him. So it's just kind of boring.
Well, so like you said, being Jason sounds fun and is fun, but so games like that, especially when you're the survivor, the cheapest tactics are what's going to become popular because it's how you win. So you're initially playing a game where you're going to just become frustrated because the cool tactic is to just jump in and out of this window over and over again because, the killer's not fast enough to get me. So you're just like, okay, this is dumb. Like I just keep going back and forth and while everyone, and now I have to leave this survivor and I can't kill him because I'm letting everyone else do whatever they want to do on the map. Like the cheapest tactics prevail in those games. And that's why
actual mechanic.
Yeah, and Friday the 13th, I would watch like certain people would get in certain places that the killer isn't quick enough to. You prevent yourself as a survivor from doing anything, but the killer cannot kill you either. So if you just get in these certain places where you can jump in and out of a window or go under this thing, well, the killer can't kill you quick enough, but you're preventing yourself from doing anything useful. It becomes like a boring stalemate. And I see that happen in those type of games, and that's why I'm not really down with that. I don't want to play a game that becomes a stalemate.
Speaking of horror games, I watched Child's Play, the new Child's Play movie.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Is anyone in that?
Yeah.
It has
Aubrey Plaza.
Aubrey Plaza's in it. You're right. Yeah.
It was different.
Different.
It was very different. I would say it's more plausible. It's way more plausible than the old Chucky movies. Because the old Chucky movies was just a doll literally coming to life.
There was a serial killer soul that was placed within the doll.
Yeah, that's the original one, right? Or is that the new one?
No, the new one.
No, that was the original. The new one's in AI, artificial intelligence. That's
yeah.
It goes haywire.
Oh, AI.
Yeah.
Okay.
Essentially. But yeah, it's ridiculous, just like any other horror movie is. It's not trying to be more realistic. It's just trying to be up with the times. So it's kind of like a reboot, essentially. But I was going to say, are there any horror franchises that you guys are interested in or follow at all or are looking forward to seeing coming up?
Nothing that's coming up. All of the Conjurings.
The Conjuring is pretty okay for what it is. I mean, I'm not really down with the Annabelle stuff, but the Conjuring...
No, I don't like the spinoffs. Anything that has the couple in it though, like the actual Conjuring films, I think are like...
Yeah, they're better. They're better than they should be. That's what I'll say. Like I'm like, this shouldn't be as good as it is, but it is because it gets a little corny and overblown, especially the Conjuring 2. But it's still like it's a solid film. Like,
I gotta say, one thing that bothers me when it comes to horror films is when they try to purposely. I don't like horror films where there's so many jump scenes, like scenes that make you jump out of your chair, like shock you.
The Conjuring 1 doesn't do that so much, but the later films do. They get a little, I don't know what the word is, formulaic, I guess. Where it's it's quiet, here it comes, like jump scare.
But ready for it?
Yeah, but in a theater,
she's gonna open the door.
Yeah, in a theater, it's effective because it's loud. Like in your house, you're just like whatever. But yeah, I remember. Adam, did you ever see the Omen remake? Did we go see that in theaters together or not?
I don't think so. It sounds
I know. I remember seeing that, and I thought maybe you guys saw it with us. And I do remember that movie was so difficult to watch in theaters because you know when the jump scares are coming, but it's so loud in a theater that I'm like putting my hands on my ears anytime. I'm like, oh shit, here it comes. Not because it's scary, but because it's just so like bombastic.
See,
like,
when
did the remake come out?
yeah,
Oh, like 2006. It was a while ago.
yeah, for me, I want something. If I'm gonna watch a horror film, I don't necessarily need to see blood and gore. I'd rather be creeped out, like something that's creepy that you kind of think, oh shit, like that could maybe freaking happen,
So
in
you
real
like
life.
Exorcist movies then?
Oh, I definitely saw this movie.
I
I
like
don't know if I saw it in theaters though.
I liked Sinister. That
I've
was
heard that's good. I haven't seen that one.
yeah, that was good. Trying to think.
Is that the who's in that? Is that the one where is that Bagold? Is Bagold in that one?
I think that's his name or something it's something similar to that. Correct.
That's
Ethan
about
Hawke.
the kids. Yeah, Ethan Hawke. The kids
Ethan
kill
Hawke's
the
in-
parents or whatever. Yeah.
Essentially. Spoiler alert.
No,
that's-
but that's he. I did say
Oh, the whole movie's bullshit. And he sees the fucking thing in the bushes, and then it starts coming in the
The
films. and shit.
Bagold. That's what. his
Yeah,
name
yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely creepy. I mean, as a kid though, I grew up watching the Freddy Krueger movies.
I watched Puppet Master. I watched the
Really?
Puppet Master
Ooh.
films a lot. Yeah, me and
Ooh.
my brother, we would rent. I think we watched all of those actually. We really enjoyed those as a kid. Even though there was definitely like some sexual stuff that I did not. It just went right over my head. I would be like, "Why is this woman tied to a bed? I don't know what's happening." Like, okay.
What did you? I see. I'll admit, I always wanted to watch some of those as a kid.
Oh,
But it was
no,
too
I'm
creepy.
They don't hold up by any means. And really, I remember even as a kid, only like 1 and 2 were good. And 3, 4, and 5 got like really campy and really crappy. Even as a kid, I recognized that. I was like, yeah, these are not good. Like,
I mean, generally, whenever horror movies or any franchise in the horror genre makes it to number 3, especially number 4 or 5 or 6,
yeah,
that's the definition of like campy, formulaic.
yeah.
It's just cheap sellout, bring in the dollars.
And it was the 90s, like direct to video stuff, all those horror franchises. Halloween.
Scream.
I don't know if Halloween ever went straight.
Oh, don't
to
fucking
video.
put Scream in that category.
No, yeah, Scream.
Why
No
not?
way. Scream never was straight to video. Scream 1, 2, and 3 were all theaters, and then the 4th one is even a theatrical release. I'm talking about shit like Hellraiser,
I meant
Puppet Master, Friday the 13th. Like those get so bogged down that
How
5
many
to
predators? How many
That-
predators?
no,
would make
all
it
the
to film?
Predators. No, all the Predators are filmed. Don't be shitting on
Really?
Predator.
They
yeah.
all went to theater?
Yeah, Predator 2.
With the Alien versus Predator in space bullshit?
Yeah,
Is that fucking
Alien
oh my
versus
god. That went
Predator
to
1
theaters?
and 2 were in theaters, and then Predators with the guy from The Pianist.
I
That
know who you're talking about, but I can't.
that
What's
was
his name?
in theaters. Also, it has Morpheus. And then the new Predator. All of those made it to theaters. Every Predator film made it to theaters.
yeah. No, I just meant as far as Scream being formulaic.
What are you talking about?
It's
Scream.
always it's the same thing. It's the same.
That's like
thing.
saying The Conjuring is the same thing, and
No.
Jason is
that's
Friday
like
the
saying,
13th is the same thing. Like that's the story. That's why it's the same thing. It's not.
No,
I wouldn't
but-
call that formulaic.
But Scream 1 was a deconstruction of the genre. Scream 1 at the time was what like Cabin in the Woods is now. Like it played it like no movie at the time had like talked about horror tropes like openly. The movie was honestly like a little meta before that was even a thing. And that's why it was such a big deal when it came out. It's like, oh, there's this horror movie, but they're using like horror logic in the movie.
I agree with you. It just to me, it doesn't take away from the fact that each Scream movie, you knew that it was the killer or killers were going to be probably 2, and they were probably going to be people that were close to her. At least one of them.
I don't remember the plot of 2. In 3, it's just one guy, I think.
It's a running theme, though, within the Scream movies. That's why I always like, all right, who's the people that are close to Nev Campbell?
But again, in Scream 1, that was
they go
a
back
shocker.
to it. They go back to it in 4 and make it 2.
Yeah, that was a big deal. Like in Scream 1, it was like, oh, there's 2 killers? Like, that's crazy. Horror movies don't do that, you know?
Mhm.
Scream 2, I don't remember anything about. Scream 3 was good, though. That's when it's like her brother or something. She doesn't know it's her brother. Yeah. And then he's like, Mommy loved you more or some shit. Scream 3 was good. I like Scream 3.
Scream 4 is fucking amazing.
I haven't seen Scream 4.
Considering how much later it came out, it's like this
I'm surprised
spiritual sequel.
Scream movies, Mike. I have like nothing bad to say about the Scream movies. I think they're pretty good.
I thought they were really corny. I thought they reminded me so much of I Know What You Did Last Summer.
No, that movie is corny. That's 90s. Like
Scream is basically a movie that makes fun of movies like I Know What You Did Last Summer. I don't know how you can't see that. That's the whole point of the fucking movie.
Serious movie making fun of those.
At no point was it ever a film that like all Scream is jumps. There's nothing in it that's creepy. There's nothing in.
No, I'm sorry.
I think the word horror is the problem. I would not define it as a horror film.
I just think we're
Jaws?
A thriller.
Would you consider Jaws a horror film?
Oh, see, yeah.
I would call it a monster movie.
I mean, I'm still screwed up in the head. I don't want to go into the ocean because of that movie.
Yeah, it's a monster movie. It doesn't make it a horror movie.
We are acclimated to a different kind of horror. Like if kids saw Jaws today, a teenager sees Jaws today, it's not scary. It's not going to be a scary film. They're going to be like, why were people afraid of this? Like it's an animatronic shark. Same thing with Scream. You're going to watch it today and be like, this is a little corny. Like, I'm not scared because it's not like this super scary entity thing, you know? Horror movies, they've just ramped up over the years. But again, at the time Scream came out, I think you're scared for the same reason it's like you're scared of Michael Myers and Halloween. Like, yeah, it's not the same level of intensity. Like, Michael Myers is clearly way scarier than, like, Ghostface Killer. But still, watching this just a guy chase you through a house with a fucking knife, like, that's pretty scary. I mean...
I did enjoy the characters, like, what's his name? Officer Dewey.
Dewey.
Yeah, like, I like the characters. I just didn't think it was that great of a franchise. It wasn't something I ever took seriously.
Nev Campbell's in that. There's a lot of good actors and actresses in that movie.
You stabbed me too deep, man.
Oh yeah, that's
a solid franchise, dude. Solid franchise.
Bleeding out, man.
Yeah, and it led to Scary movies, probably.
Which I haven't seen that. I haven't seen a single scary movie.
Man, 1 and 2 are pretty good. I would hope. Maybe you should watch them today as someone that's never seen any of them and let me know what you think of 1 and 2.
All right. Yeah, I'll do that. I don't know. It's just, as a kid, it just seemed like brain damage.
Because we were in high school when those came out.
I thought 1 and 2 were legitimately pretty funny. And 3 has like some laughs, but it's mostly bad.
And then the whole Final Destination putter out thing.
Yeah. Well, 3 has Mel Gibson in it. I forget who's in 3. I don't know.
I don't know if Mel Gibson's in it, but that might be when they introduced the signs, jokes and the aliens.
Yeah, that's the exact movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, who is the chick in Scary Movies? Does anyone know her name?
I think it was Anna Faris.
Yeah.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What is she doing these days?
She just got divorced.
Being an adult.
Oh, there you go. All right.
She was married to Chris
divorce
Pratt.
number 2.
Yeah, she was married to Chris Pratt. They were married for a long time. Chris Pratt got hot. No, poor Anna Faris.
No, he got busy and work destroys marriage.
Well, speaking of some of these horror flicks, I'm not sure if you guys know this or not, but Marvel has actually purchased the comic book rights and franchise rights to Alien and Predator.
Who
Marvel.
Disney did that?
Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marvel.
Well, Marvel via Disney.
So expect to see Iron Man versus Predators. It's coming. It's coming.
No.
Maybe in What If, but not in the actual film.
I mean, why? I mean, that would be interesting to watch. I mean, I was just speaking strictly comic book, but if they did add, like, would you see Wolverine versus Predators?
No.
No.
I want it.
I don't want to see any versus film, honestly.
Yeah, versus films are they're nothing films. They're air. It's just it's like Jason versus Freddy and stuff. It's stupid. It's like a video game concept that you put on screen. I can't take it serious.
So you don't.
Yeah, and
so
the
you
concept
don't,
overrides the story.
So you don't want to see
because of the
Avengers.
concept.
You don't want to see Avengers versus X-Men. You're saying.
But that's different.
How is that different? It's Marvel.
No, because that's something that you can put as a title, but
you don't
think up that title and that concept and then build everything around it.
This
is something that's developed over time.
I disagree because Jason's main point on the fact is that you know that it's a nothing burger. And
I got you.
When it comes to X-Men versus Avengers or anything like that, you know that there's nothing. The Hulk is never gonna kill Iron Man. Like, you know what I mean? It's always going to be a draw.
The Hulk can kill Wolverine. He can kill Iron Man.
I think that's why Jason's saying
Wolverine in half and throw him, and he crawled back to himself.
I'm just saying. I think that's why Jason's saying that these versus movies are not great because
no. I will. So I'm gonna backtrack a little bit because there is Batman v Superman, and I do kind of like that movie. But again, that movie kind of suffered from being seen as a versus movie. You know, it's already has why is this a versus film? You know, why is Batman versus Superman? But anyway, so Wolverine
why is Batman being Superman?
Yeah, it's not even a VS, it's just a V. But Wolverine versus Predators and aliens are nameless. They're emotionless entities. You don't care about them. They're
exactly
a predator doesn't talk. He's only cool because he's very in the shadows, and it only works in Predator 1 because it's humans versus a predator. It's these big dudes that are the toughest guys on the planet, and they have to fight something tougher than them and outsmart it. That's what makes that a good movie. It's like the toughest humans against this smart alien. That's like a ghost face killer, like a Michael Myers. It doesn't have really a personality other than it's a hunter. But Wolverine, so we have Avengers versus X-Men. You're talking about two groups of characters that are fleshed out, that you care about, that have personality. Same thing with Batman versus Superman. Maybe corny, but you have Batman, and you know Batman, and you have Superman. You know Superman. Fucking Wolverine versus Predators, you're just gonna be like, I mean, Wolverine better win.
I mean, but the thing is, that doesn't mean that they can't make something good out of that.
No, you're right. It doesn't mean that they can't make shit out of it. Absolute garbage.
I mean, the only reason I say that is because you take a character like Boba Fett in Star Wars, or bounty hunters in general. Okay. Besides Boba Fett, nobody knows any bounty unless you're a real Star Wars geek.
A Mandalorian.
Exactly. They took someone I'm just saying Marvel has that ability to recreate a franchise, to take a know nothing character.
I mean Disney.
Yeah, Disney.
Tomato. But and so that's why I really think that imagine a Alien versus Predator story.
No,
where the alien is an actual character. You learn
it can't speak.
It can't. Yeah, as soon as they start talking, it's done. So you would have to have a silent film, which could honestly be pretty neat if you did a serious silent film following an alien or a predator. I would watch it, but there's not an audience for that.
What about music? Music only. It gives you the tone of that scene. Just music.
What was the black and white film that they did? That was quiet. The Artist.
Clerks?
You do The Artist, but with predators.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, it's just not gonna market well to audiences.
I mean, yeah, but like,
This is our next Passion of the Christ idea. Black and white AVP.
ugh, that sounds awful. I would not watch that.
Not
But
black and white, just a quiet. You have these have to be quiet antagonists. That's the only way they work.
I would just like to see a Mandalorian version of Alien, or I mean Predator. I
But
feel
again,
like that would be great.
how do you do it? The fact is he's an alien, and because his motives are mostly alien, that's what makes him unknown. We know he's a hunter, but we don't, we just know bare facts about him. He's a hunter. He comes to Earth to hunt top sport. That's it. If you flesh him out anymore, he kind of loses.
He could take on other predators.
They already did that, and it's not good. That's
Yeah,
why
but
no
those-
one watched these other Predator movies.
Yeah, but those are baseless characters. They don't have any names or anything like that. Like, and typically, even in the Predator movies, they make noises. Like, they make these weird noises as they're looking in their thermal vision. So I don't see why that couldn't be. You couldn't have subtitles or something like that underneath that.
No, you could, but you can't take it seriously once they start doing alien grunts and you're doing subtitles. Like, I'm still not going to connect to a semi-humanoid face making alien grunts, putting in subtitles. Like, you don't connect. Like, that's why fucking voiced over animal movies with live action, like, people that, oh, it's like a human voice, and like it's some weird like brain trick that occurs. I'm not sure that can happen.
I mean, do
with
you know how much
Predator with subtitles?
I mean, do you know how much Boba Fett talked in Star Wars?
I don't think anyone's.
People still love that character. He's a bounty hunter.
I don't think you could make a Boba Fett versus aliens.
Oh,
And that fucking movie, I don't even think would sell.
I think that's already out.
Yeah, that's a comic book series. I swear it is.
Yeah, that sounds like some dumb shit someone would make, and no
But it
one
would work.
still go see it now.
No. That is probably the best idea I've heard. That is something you could actually sell, because Boba Fett is a character that's still mysterious but still human. So he can have minor dialogue. Not a Boba Fett, but a Mandalorian. He has such small dialogue, and he's seen as kind of like a badass. Like, you can have him hunting these guys, and it seem realistic. You know.
I don't know. To me, aliens and predators always reminded me of StarCraft. So as rich as the storylines are for StarCraft, for the Protoss, the Zerg, I don't see why they can't dive into. I mean, you look at the past Predator movies; they are basically like StarCraft, like the storyline. Like they are floating through space on a carrier with zealots on there, going to a planet where there's nothing but zerglings. I mean, what else would you call a predator other than a zealot?
They can shoot and go invisible. I mean, they're more like fucking Dark Templars or something than.
I mean, I don't know. I think I think screw it. Just give Quentin Tarantino the movie.
That's fine. I'm fine
Just
with
give
that
him
also.
every movie.
Yeah. I if only to see the script. I would just like to see what script he came up with. Quentin Tarantino already has huge portions of his movie without dialogue, so it works fine.
Well, we talked a little bit last week about the Michael Keaton talks. Read a little bit more about it.
Batman.
Apparently, it's rumored there are 10 projects that he would be signing up for.
My God,
What the
what does that
fuck? That
contract
has to
look
be
Yeah.
like?
Batman Beyond.
Yeah, so that's
There's no way.
that's the current
Oh
rumor.
no, I've read the rumors. I think unless you're gonna keep continuing, I had read that I guess after this Flash movie, the plan was to have Michael Keaton become involved in the DCEU, the extended like TV universe. So they would introduce him in this Flash movie, and he'd be a big part of it. And this was the movie that they were going to use to kind of bridge the TV shows, like the TV universe and the movie universe, and have Michael Keaton be a big draw, because now he's going to be in the TV shows.
Correct. Now,
Yeah.
additionally, they said.
Not as excited now.
Additionally, they said. Well, this is a rumor actually that.
Yeah, it's all rumor.
If things were to fall through with Michael Keaton, that WB Warner
Would
Brothers
reach out to Christian Bell.
is
Is
looking
that
at
what you're about to say? Yeah, I know. I read all the same shit too.
You want to put fucking You want to put Michael Keaton or Christian Bale on the CW?
But I don't think so. Christian Bell would be good enough for a movie. I don't think Christian Bell would take a
Fuck no.
CW contract. Michael Keaton might, though. I mean, what is he doing these days? And I'm not saying that he's not better than that, but I'm just simply saying I think his schedule is a lot freer. I mean, every movie actor's schedule is pretty free at the moment. But I think
he's also not as stubborn and
Christian Bell's
full of
kind
himself as
a-hole.
Christian Bale. If you said we want you to be on a DC TV show, he'd be like,
he'd laugh. He'd tell you to fix those
say
lights.
that again?
He'd say, fix those lights, bro. Stop messing with my lights.
I mean, the majority of the rumors, I mean, I can't see a lot of any deal that gets made for any previous Batman. I can't see them dipping too much into the TV shows. But like Jason said, I can see them
cameos,
trying to...
like making them sign on saying you have to do cameos. Yeah, sure.
That's probably what it is, I imagine. It's like, that's the reason everyone tuned into Crisis on Infinite Earth. I don't watch any of that. I watch no DC show. I've never watched Arrow. I've never watched Flash. I don't watch Superwoman. I don't watch any of this stuff. But I definitely watched clips on YouTube of all the different Supermen coming in. I watched every single one.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet, but I do intend to watch it just because I want to see Tom Welling.
You didn't watch his clip is only 5 minutes. Just pull it up on YouTube and watch it. It's great. It just you don't need the context. All you need to know is that they're going and collecting other Supermen to try to beat a big evil. So he doesn't become his thing is just a little 5-minute one-off. He doesn't get involved. But they do have kind of an ending to his character. I cannot believe when we're done with this, I'm sending you that clip and you're going to watch it. It's fantastic.
So apparently if Keaton does jump on, basically they're saying that they are going to drop the Joel Schumacher movies from canon.
Which one are those?
That would be
Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. Yeah.
Everything with George Clooney.
Well,
yeah,
George Clooney and the guy from Tombstone,
Val
Kilmer, correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I've ever watched the full one.
That's fine. I mean, are those? What is
glad
those are considered some of the universally worst films in the entire Batman universe. Anything that's ever been made, that's kind of labeled as the bastard stepchildren.
If Kiss from a Rose,
nipples, Mike.
If Kiss from a Rose wasn't a thing, Batman Forever would not be revered at all, I don't think.
But no, that's not revered at all because George Clooney even said he apologized. He's like, "I'm sorry, I killed Batman for X amount of years." He literally said that in a statement.
There was a minute that he was dead, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Batman and Robin and Batman Forever were so bad that it killed the comic book movie industry until Blade came out.
Was Blade? I thought Blade came out. Hold on, I'm about to do. You keep talking. I'm doing some Google.
I thought X-Men was. I thought X-Men was the one that could arguably rebooted comic book movies.
That came out way after. Blade was in the early 90s.
Yeah, so. X-Men came out in 2000.
Blade came out. Well, Blade came out the year after. Think. Yeah, it was 1998 and Batman vs. Robin was 97. So
yeah, so then you've got X-Men that comes out in 2000, but you don't have fucking
But Warner Brothers
Batman Begins. You don't have Batman Begins until when?
Oh, Begins
maybe
way later.
2006.
Yeah.
That's 2005, 2006.
I was going to say 2004, 2005.
I thought it was 2005. Yeah, 2005.
Yeah, all I was trying to say is
That's
Batman Forever. Batman Forever did so much damage.
Yeah, it needed 8 years. Yeah, you needed to forget that Batman was a thing. It's honestly, I'm surprised Spider-Man didn't have a bigger lull between their reboots, but Marvel's
It's just
handling
because
it
fucking no, it's
fine.
because Tom Holland crushes it.
Yeah.
He's like the perfect Batman. I mean, perfect Spider-Man.
Have you guys ever seen the commercial that they came out with the original Spider-Man movie, where they feature the Twin Towers? They actually pulled the ad.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that before?
I have.
Yeah, because he puts the web between the towers, but that was like they
Catches
did
a
it prior to
helicopter.
9/11. Yeah.
It was cool. I liked it. Go for the ultimate ride is what was the thing.
It was a smart idea for an ad, and then the world changed overnight.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I want to talk about some news.
All right, what news do we have?
Well, today, I know Mike's probably gonna want to brush over it and not harp on it, but Ghislaine Maxwell,
Who is that?
it's Jeffrey Epstein's girlfriend, long time, was arrested today. She was indicted with recruitment,
I heard
grooming,
about
and
this.
abuse of multiple girls, including one as young as 14. And she also is facing perjury charges.
Not surprising.
I think people wonder what took so long.
Well, okay, but it could be like a mafia wife thing where you know what your husband does, but you're just he does what he does, and I stay out of it. I'm not involved. I think it's honestly more surprising that she was involved in any kind of whatever.
Oh, but all the women basically accused her of like
trafficking.
recruitment. Like her job was to go find them.
So she's the chick from Smallville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going back to Tom Welling in Smallville.
Yeah.
She's
Chloe was
yeah.
a recruiter. So and her
You
cult.
thought she was sweet and innocent. She was really recruiting girls behind the scenes.
That's actually pretty surprising. I wanted to see her involved in Epstein's trafficking, but I guess it's not. It's surprising, but not surprising.
I just felt like it was just a matter of time until things caught up with her.
I just feel like, again, I have this like mafia wives idea of, sure, you're like, you know what your husband's doing, but it doesn't mean that you have any part in it.
I think had he lived, they probably would just ignored her because they were like, they got him.
Really? See,
but because he died, I think there's this need for someone needs to be held to account. So that's why it's taken, I think it's been almost a year or over a year since he's died. I'm not sure what his death date was. That then they needed to build a case on her, and it needed to be bulletproof, which I bet is what they spent the last year doing.
It needed to be noose proof.
We'll see if she fucking can stay alive.
We'll see how long she lasts in prison before those cameras go out.
Now, there were already some memes with fucking Hillary Clinton pick up the phone, and the other one was like, suicide hotline, and Hillary's like, yes, I'd like to place an order.
Oh, because it's Hillary. It's not just the powers that be.
Exactly. 4chan's already saying there's going to be a fucking,
of course.
What's it called?
I don't know.
When the fake shootings and bullshit.
Psyops? It's called a psyops.
Oh, God.
No, that's not the term I'm thinking of, but yeah.
That's the term that they use, psyops.
They're already being like, there's going to be a shooting within the next 24 to 48 hours. I guarantee you it's going to involve children. It's probably going to be in either Wisconsin or Pennsylvania if you look at the statistics and if you follow these things.
From 4chan. If you look, I go to poll almost every day, and almost every day there's a thread saying, "Here's the next mass shooting. The next mass shooting." You're talking about schizophrenic people like they actually.
I think the word you're looking for is trolls.
Trolls. Well,
yes.
No.
I don't know. Unfortunately, I'm not certain.
These people are legitimately like a lot of these people. I really do believe are just really their head is screwed up, and they live in Alex Jones land. Like Alex Jones is a character, but they are like real people that are like Alex Jones. Like,
I feel like there's a lot of people. Obviously there's a demographic,
yeah.
But I feel like there's the recurring theme on 4chan, and I've spent a lot of time on 4chan. It seems to be people trying to troll people trying to battle each other. You know, and it's through trolling. So I don't take anything from 4chan seriously. It would be like hanging out with a bunch of kids and then they're saying, "Oh, yeah, well, did you hear that rumor or this and that?" It's just like, okay, I need to find a more reliable source.
Especially anything on poll. Like poll is just yeah. You just don't believe anything on there.
But yeah, glad to see some justice
Well, let's hope
for
we get some
people.
justice.
Yeah, again, we have to see. Maybe she'll be out on bail and this and that and the other. So
Jason, you brought this to our attention: the nuclear radiation spike in Scandinavia.
well, it's all the northern European countries, Scandinavia, Sweden, and some other place. It's like three.
I forget
countries.
what was there was an organization
Yeah,
that tracks.
yeah, something nuclear, something or another. Yeah,
Basically, they track the particle data in the air,
yeah.
and they saw a spike of
Isotope 131. It's an isotope only create. It's not. It doesn't exist.
it's not naturally occurring.
It only comes about from nuclear fission. So you're either looking at like a leak from a power plant, or what I've been reading, and this isn't like made up. It's real. You can go look it up. I think a few years ago, like 2 or 3 years ago, Russia was working on a nuclear powered cruise missile. So it would never run out of fuel. It could essentially just circle the planet forever because it would be powered by a nuclear reactor, like a miniature one.
Oh
And
god,
so they,
that's fucking terrifying.
yeah, so you could never like really.
You just launch it and it just
And it
keeps
just keeps
circling.
going
And then
forever.
when you want to come down, you say, "Come down here."
So they tested this in like 2018, and there was a spike of radiation just like this that's happening right now because their test failed and this missile like fell into a lake or something, and Russia had to go retrieve it. And when they went to retrieve it, that's when everything spiked, and that's how they knew the existence of this test prototype that they're working on. So that was
I
a
guess
story.
the concealment sort of ruptured during the
Yeah,
crash,
yeah,
and once they pulled
whatever
it
it
above
was,
water, it went.
Yeah, because it's not like a nuke. It's just a nuclear fission engine, something like that. It's not fusion, it's fission. I don't know. But anyway, that's what a lot of people are saying now. They don't think it's a nuclear power plant leak, but they think it's definitely like a weapons test. Probably that same weapons system either malfunctioned or not. They probably tested it again and just didn't work out. So anyway,
Yeah, Forbes was running an article saying that it was possibly quote unquote Russia's super weapons that they're trying to develop. Russia's coming out patently denying it.
Yeah.
People are also questioning whether or not it be caused from Iran because there was an earthquake that was picked up.
Yeah,
It was picked up by seismometers, but then there were photos coming out of it, a bright explosion that could be nuclear in nature. So it's possibly an Iranian weapons test.
Or maybe the
and
earthquake
and the particulates were carried. Yeah,
Maybe
or there was an underground fucking facility that the earthquake may have generated a failure in the system, which created some sort of explosion within a lab. It could be as innocent as them honestly trying to create a nuclear like reactor for nuclear energy, but they were hiding it because they're not allowed to develop it. And the earthquake caused it to fail, and then there was an explosion. That's possible.
7 hours ago, fire damages buildings at Iran nuclear enrichment site. Reactor said untouched.
See, this is why I am very against nuclear energy.
I am kind of far. I'm on the nuclear energy bandwagon. The problem is that, yeah, it can be really dangerous because it can be sabotaged, I guess. But
the problem is they're making them hide it. So
if you never had to worry about like people sabotaging your nuclear reactors, and you could like share technology between America, Russia, and all these people to like build the safest nuclear options, I think nuclear energy is a really fantastic thing. I mean, the problem is people like Russia are using 30-year-old technologies that aren't safe, 50-year-old technologies, because they just really want the power. They don't care about it being safe. And America's afraid of nuclear energy, and Japan really likes it. So,
Well, I mean, I cannot deny how useful nuclear energy is, but the problem is the downside of when it goes wrong, it
oh, it
tends
goes
to go
really
wrong
wrong.
really wrong, and I feel like that really outweighs. Because I mean, 3 Mile Island, that's something that I live pretty close to.
Old
Um,
reactor,
you
not a
know,
valid argument.
it's
Chernobyl, old reactor, not a valid
it
argument.
it had a meltdown.
Yeah, I'm saying the science has changed and the reactor designs are astronomically different than they were back
Yeah, if
then.
you are building new nuclear reactors today,
It takes
they
like a
are
decade to build.
yeah, they are so much safer these days than they were. You're talking about reactors that are built like 70 years ago. We didn't even have like PCs back then.
Yeah, but it has doesn't. Yeah, but you are miss. I don't know. I feel like you guys are missing a big thing. Like, look at Japan, what they
Right.
had to deal with. That was a
Still an
natural
old.
disaster.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. You
That
shouldn't
doesn't mean
build
that
fucking
doesn't
reactors on the coast. That's what we
that doesn't
learned
mean
from
natural
that.
disasters can't affect
well,
nuclear power plants, even new ones.
but the point about them building it on the coast was if something like that happened, water would naturally flood it to prevent it from like melting down. Yeah, it spilled radiation into the ocean like crazy, but oh, thank God, no human lives were were affected. Just the entire ocean.
Like all the Japanese dudes that spent a lot of time going into those reactors are in horrible. I think a lot of them died actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, anyone that's on the safety crew that's job is to basically take one for the team, like you're gonna fucking die. But had this been fucking Russia, what, 30 years ago, you would have large portions of Japan that are uninhabitable.
Yeah, if not the entire place.
So their idea of let the ocean water flood it worked. It just happened to contaminate the ocean water, which obviously is a bad idea.
I just don't think it's ever going to be a perfect
But
science.
then that being said, so that same nuclear power plant was built in '67. So yeah, you're still talking about like a 60-year-old power plant. I understand your concerns and I think they are valid, but I just think a lot of people won't give like modern day nuclear energy a chance. I
Because of
think
fear
everyone's
mongering.
scared of it. Yeah. But to Mike's credit, I mean, yeah, the repercussions of if your local power grid fails, you're fine. If an oil plant fails, it just shuts down, or I guess it blows up, and really just affects the people around it. It doesn't affect like your entire country.
With uh with global warming and everything like that, I don't think that I feel like renewable is the way to go for sure, 100%.
Oh yeah, true, and hopefully one day fusion energy, but
Yeah, cold fusion is the golden gem. That's the alchemy of energy that would literally be limitless, limitless safe power. Even if it's, didn't someone call it a pipe dream?
uh, I think so. We just
I don't know.
haven't
I thought
cracked
Joe
the
Rogan had someone
code.
on that called it a pipe dream.
We're working on it.
Mm, yeah,
Cold fusion is the goal.
have you guys ever watched the Commander David Fravor on the on Joe Rogan's podcast? That episode?
No, I don't think I have.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then.
Yeah, it doesn't sound familiar to me.
Never mind then. I was gonna talk. He talked something about. Well, never mind. There's no point in talking about it if you guys neither one of you guys have seen it. So
Yeah, I don't. Sorry.
Jason, have you seen? I Okay, did you say you watched a few episodes of Watchmen, or
I've only seen the first 2 episodes of Watchmen.
Micah, do you watch any of it, the Watchmen series?
I didn't know there was a series.
HBO. You didn't know there was a series?
I didn't really care for the movies
Yeah,
that
it
much.
came out.
Oh,
I think
wow.
it was.
Okay.
I think it was last fall. There was articles I saw coming out today that the Seattle police have started wearing face masks,
To
which
protect their identity?
yellow in color
Oh, man.
to prevent the spread of COVID. And by yellow face masks, they're yellow things that they can pull up over their face. I think the police chief reported saying that there are different identifiers still on their uniform. Of course, they can, I guess, recognize one another. They know who they're speaking with.
Yeah.
But it's like with the protests and everything, and with Watchmen recently doing that, it seems like an odd coincidence, especially when you compare the side by side pictures that many people have posted.
I mean, spread of COVID, that's the whole thing.
Do you think it's coincidence that it's a yellow and they're all wearing it?
Yeah, maybe it was the cheapest one. Maybe it was the one in stock. Who's buying yellow face mask, I did see that they cleared out CHAZ though, that autonomous zone in Seattle. I guess they cleared it out this
I
morning.
thought they were going to.
They did it. They did it this morning, I think.
Was it peaceful?
Pretty much the mayor did an executive order at like 2 a.m. I think. So they cleared it out in the morning. They just got everyone out of there. So
I saw last night, I think, that they started to remove barriers.
yeah, they just
So it
came
was
in.
sort of like, hey, we're coming in, just so they're aware.
I mean, it was forceful, but
The mayor said less than a week ago, I believe, that they were not going to force anyone to leave, but that they were going to basically come to an agreement to get.
Isn't it funny how things change?
Yeah, whenever what was it,
when the
unarmed teenager got shot.
Yeah, he got shot in his car and killed. Yep, I believe that is what happened. He was 15, I think, something like that, 15 or 16. Yeah.
I didn't see. Were there any explanations on CHAZ's part? Did they try to justify or explain what happened?
I remember reading it, but I can't. This was a few days ago, so I don't exactly remember what I read. I think that they thought the two sides of the story goes, the guy that got shot was just trying to like leave, and I think he thought he was being mugged and his car got surrounded, so he drove, and then they started shooting into his car and I think killed him and his passenger. What the other side of the story is he was trying to forcefully run down innocent people, so they shot at him, thinking that he was trying to like run over people. But yeah, I think it was 2 young black teenagers, I think, that ended up getting killed. Who knows what the story is? All I know is there's no police. It's a lawless zone. That's why paramedics didn't show up either. I mean, you just can't have something like that running in the middle of your city and expect, I wish that we could all hold hands and be really happy, but realistically, bad people are going to take advantage of a bad situation. So
what's one is you can't have something like that running unless they set up systems to replace the ones that they have barred. Like
exactly,
and they need their own medics. They have their own buildings like that they took control of that have medical supplies. If they wanted to, they need to set up some form of law enforcement, some form of medicine.
And that's the problem. You just become the Wild West. I mean, it's something like that. I think this guy is committing a crime. I'm just going to shoot him. And there's no court of law. There's no accountability. You basically become what you're fighting against.
I can say that's true to a degree. The only thing I saw were the still photos of it. And I think basically the reason people opened fire was because of the fact they surround the vehicle. And when your vehicle's surrounded and you're trying to get through a crowd, the only thing you can do is sort of like you speed up a little bit. It's not a fast enough to run people over, but
Like,
once tensions get heightened and you start like
if
moving forward.
if I'm in CHAZ and there's a guy outside my car with a fucking gun, yeah, I'm probably gonna gas it. Like, I don't. If there's someone outside of my car in my neighborhood with a gun, I'm about to gas it. Like, that's, and I'm gonna hope I don't run anyone over. But that's that fight or flight instinct. Like, you're like, shit, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, in a vehicle, you can do both at the same time. You got a weapon and you can get away.
Man, this Seattle mayor tweets a lot. I tried to go through her Twitter real fast, and boy, it's a lot of tweets.
She tweet more than Trump? I find that unlikely.
No, I don't think so. But it's a lot of tweets. I'm surprised people tweet this much. Someone that doesn't use Twitter. Man, people, why don't they just, it's just so much. Who's going to read all this?
No, so me and Mike this past week, I picked up Heroes of the Storm.
Oh, yeah.
And started playing it. As far as MOBAs in general go, I've never been a big fan. And this one I don't completely hate, I would say. I like the fact they're not items. And I like... I was thinking about it earlier. I'm pretty sure to a large degree, there is an aspect that right now I don't have enough characters to play ranked games. So I'm relegated to just playing like quick matches. I can't even play unranked.
You don't have all the characters?
No, you start with, I don't know, maybe 10. And you have to have, I think, you have to have 16 in order to play unranked or ranked games. So the only thing I can play is like versus AI or quick match. And I was thinking about it earlier. I think the fact that there's not people sitting there talking shit about me being bad is also a benefit of why I'm enjoying it more than I would like a League or a Dota.
Well, you did say the matches were quicker. That sounds
and the gameplay, yeah. The games, I would say on average, are much quicker paced. And you're going to be averaging probably a 20-minute game as opposed to a 40-minute game plus.
It's because League of Legends and Dota are focused on farming, where Heroes of the Storm is focused on team fights, and it's all shared EXP. So me and Adam aren't fighting over who got the kill on a hero or a unit or something like that. It all goes to the team anyways. So,
okay.
Yeah. And personally, I like it better just because I don't have to sit there and wait to last hit and farm items for like half an hour.
Standing there just like waiting for the health to go and
then attacking. Yeah.
Time it to get that last hit.
Mm-hmm. Dota's out of date. And I think League of Legends is only where it's at because of its popularity. Like, it's only sticking around. Like, League of Legends is an inferior competitive game to Dota because you cannot deny anything.
Yeah, but your fan base stays because they put so much time into it. You know what I mean?
It's in the same sense of Heroes of the Storm. You have to purchase your heroes. You don't have in League of Legends. You don't have access to all the heroes. You have to purchase them.
So once you've earned the right to play these heroes, you're not about to abandon a game that you spent, I don't know, 100 hours unlocking all these different heroes. Probably more if you want to have like a wide array of selections that you're good at.
So in Heroes of the Storm, do you start with like these are the heroes you start with, or is it like random heroes you start with?
No, you get a base of heroes that you start with, but they also
is it different for everyone? That's what I'm asking.
No, but they have weekly they have weekly, like every week you can. There's a bunch of different heroes that you can play for free. So I think it's like
Yeah,
another.
I think it's
like
probably
another
like 4
10.
heroes that like you start with like 10 or so base,
You start with Raynor. I know that for sure.
and then there's a selection that keeps changing. So it's like you don't you can test out certain heroes, and that also helps whenever you're earning gold and stuff, trying to decide what heroes you want to unlock
With
because you have the time to play these heroes.
with
They're
all
gonna get
these
unlocked.
with all these summer sales going on and stuff, are there any games that you guys are looking at getting?
I got Payday. I mean, I got Payday and TitanFall 2. Because I've been hearing about Titanfall 2's campaign for years now, and it was short. It was only like 6 hours long, but
Wow.
yeah, it was good. I mean, it was a really good campaign. Probably the best campaign in a shooter that I can think of in quite some time.
Jason's like, that was the best 6 hours of my life.
Dude, I mean, I sat down and played it through straight. Like it was fun as hell, and I played the multiplayer a bit. And I mean, the game is fun. I mean, it's Apex Legends. It's a fun game. I can't knock
How's
it.
the community involvement now?
I think on Steam there's like 12,000 active users at the moment. It's a pretty active game since they've put it on. They put it on Steam recently. EA put all their games, but you still need Origin. So I downloaded it, and then it was like, oh, you need to update Origin, and I was like, what? So it launches through Steam, but it has to have Origin running in the background also. It's very strange.
Well, I think our fans are ready for your official review, Jason, of Titanfall.
Good. Titanfall 2 is great. I would spend $10. If you can get it for $10, the campaign alone is worth $10 easily.
Wow.
The multiplayer is fun. If you played Apex, it plays like Apex except with mechs.
I think what you're trying to say is Apex plays like it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Apex plays. I mean, the guns are the same. I didn't know that going into it. The guns are literally the same exact guns from Apex. They are named the same. I don't think they interact exactly the same. I mean, they aim the same, but the damage might be different. But yeah, I mean, so if you played Apex, it's literally like the same thing. Same wall running, same sliding. You just have giant mechs that you can control also, which it's fun in its own right once you know what you're doing.
Excellent review. Thank you, Jason.
It was a great game at the time.
I still think the campaign.
I wish it should have been more popular.
Yeah, I really want them now with the popularity of Apex Legends. They've said they're working on Titanfall 3, and I would hope that a Titanfall 3 would get like the popularity it deserves. Because you're talking about a studio that tries to do so much different and do all these really neat, unique things with their AAA shooter. And it just, people don't latch onto it because it's not Call of Duty. Well, it's not just Call of Duty, so.
Would you play a Titanfall BR?
Apex Legends? Yeah, I already do. So.
No, but would you play like a Titanfall base?
Oh, with mechs? Boy, that would be interesting. I don't know how you would do that. Because, the mechs like one-shot you. So
I mean, we're migrating towards like teams of 3, right? So what if it's like one mech per team of 3 people?
But a mech can one-shot humans, so I don't really see how.
Like you said, the weapons are different, so you would.
I don't really think for a BR setting, if a mech can literally just shoot across the map and one-shot you, just random like blind firing, that's not gonna be fun for a battle royale.
I think you could tweak it.
Yeah, maybe. Titanfall is at $9 right now, so go get your Titanfall 2. Respawn Entertainment, they make good games. I wish they'd make more.
That they do. I'm definitely considering it. Battle royales. Today, Ubisoft released Hyperspace closed beta. It's on Twitch right now. It's actually on this TV right now.
What is that?
Watching Ammunition. It is a battle royale from Ubisoft.
Hyperspace. I see.
I'm honestly very interested in getting it. That's why I'm sitting in this Twitch channel whenever we're doing this, because I'm wanting to get a code to get into the closed beta. You have the 3-man squads that you get from Apex.
It looks like
autofill.
Apex Legends. That's what it looks like.
You have the 3-man squads that you get from Apex. If you don't have 3 people, they're gonna autofill. You have double jumping, speed
Apex.
sliding.
Apex.
So the movement system, a lot like Apex. I like the level design a lot more than I like Apex. It's more of
Ooh, I'm looking at it right now.
it looks like you're kind of jumping around, combating and like fighting in a Eastern European style city. There's lots of boosts that are like on the base level, so you're gonna hit a boost that's gonna shoot you into the air, and then you can double jump onto like buildings and start making your way around the map itself.
I'm seeing that right now. I'm literally watching it as you're talking. So
there's a lot of really cool aspects. There's only 10 guns in the game, based on what I've heard and read. Your guns get upgraded by picking up more than one of the same type. So if you enjoy a certain type of gun, you try to find multiples of that and it upgrades. When you die, you drop the upgraded version. So if someone kills you, they get the upgraded version of the gun. Or someone respawns you at a res point that they have, just like similar to Apex. And you can go pick your materials back up. They've got what they call hacks, which are basically abilities that you can choose between. There's invisibility, teleport,
Apex.
slam, where like you jump super high and then like come down and like do AoE damage, kind of like a Hulk smash in a way. You're able to upgrade those. All in all, it looks really cool to me. The map shrinking, or like the storm, or whatever you want to call it, in this is you're playing in sort of I don't know how to call it. It seems almost like a computer model. Like whenever the area closes in, the map itself starts to deteriorate around the edges. Like all the textures go away and becomes like this black, like blue stuff starts to appear on the walls, where the texture starts going away until all the texture is gone, and then it's just the shapes, and then slowly like the buildings like start to collapse and go away. So I think you may take slide damage. I'm not positive. I haven't watched a ton, but the biggest issue is that your model and character is completely standing in like this blue black void. So you're like clearly obvious. So you're trying to run to the map where people are still fighting, and it's just like running against the black, like a black wall. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it looks pretty neat, and it's an interesting change. Mike, are you on the phone?
Yeah, what is that noise? Yeah, it's a phone ringing. I hear it.
Oh, you shouldn't have been able to hear that for some reason.
We definitely could.
Yeah,
I thought it was like the stream. I was like, what stream is muted? I don't know what's going on.
But that was released today. They did I saw someone compare it to the Apex Legend, just because it's like, hey, here's a game we've been working on. By the way, a bunch of Twitch streamers got closed betas, and they can play it today. And if you sit in their streams, then you can get beta codes as well.
Yeah, like I said, I'm watching it right now. It definitely looks faster than Apex. I don't know that it just looks like a lot of jumping. Like everyone's just airbound and jumping all the time, trying to shoot everyone. I mean, it kind of looks like Quake, honestly, like
That's
Quake
what I
Arena
thought.
or something.
I had the same thought when I saw it.
Yeah. Which could be cool. I mean, don't get me wrong, but look, I don't know why I like Apex because I am kind of in Mike's camp and I do not like battle royales. Like I never really have.
I don't
They're not
either.
they're not that fun to me. I guess Apex is a little slower paced and maybe that's why I like it because you have a chance to like get out of firefights and restore your health and stuff. This looks a little quicker, a little more competitive. I don't know. It looks like Apex and Fortnite and Quake. I don't know. The visual style is interesting. I'll give it that. But I'm not sure that I would care to play it. But that's just
I would take it for a test run.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna like sit here and wait for our code. But I would give it a shot, sure. A lot of jumping around though. Everyone's just airborne all the time in this game. That's all I see.
Yeah, I saw someone call it battle royale aerial combat. Like,
Yeah. It seems to be like that's the thing. Like you either are in a building or you're just hopping around buildings, just trying to shoot anything that moves. I mean, it's still a battle royale. It looks neat for a battle royale, I guess.
it's the slow evolution.
Just what we need. Another battle royale.
Another battle royale. Another battle royale that all these streamers play for 1 month until the next battle royale comes out.
I mean, this was fucking MOBAs 5 years ago. Like,
you're right, and that's why I don't play MOBAs. I mean,
all the new genres of game are debatable in their quality, but people love it. So
I know. I just hate jumping on the fucking hype train. You know, what was it a while ago? It was Valorant, and now Hyperspace. It's a new thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just salty because it's just the streamer life of like, quick, jump on the new game and get advertising dollars because I'm giving away keys. Like, I don't know. It's all so gross to me.
you're not entirely wrong.
Anyway, what else we got to talk about?
That's all I got.
Unfortunately, it's not unfortunate. I don't know. It's debatable. Did y'all hear? Let's talk about news about a week old. I think
a week
the
old.
Pirates reboot.
Dude, this is the third time we've talked about the Pirates.
That's the female one, right?
Yeah, yes. They've said that Margot Robbie is going to be the.
Yeah, I did read that. I read that. So I mean, good for her. I'm sure she's gonna get a good paycheck. So.
At this point, I feel like she's biting off more than she can chew.
You sure?
No, I just mean like, workload wise.
Why? Get your money while you can.
Leading Pirates, she's basically going to be the lead of Suicide Squad. She's also doing her own Harley Quinn shit. I'm sure she's also not. She's going to stay away. She doesn't want to just do like
comic book movies.
Well, I wouldn't call Pirates a comic movie, but she doesn't want to just do like blockbuster films. She's also going to want to do regular movies, I guess you would call them. So that's a massive workload.
But is she working right now? And again, you're talking about Suicide Squad like it's going to be something that's really successful down the road. Birds of Prey was not successful in the box office. So you had a hit with Suicide Squad, then you have a miss with Birds of Prey. So that's that whole Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, what's the future of your DC? Because DC's always up in the air when it comes to their movies. So yeah, maybe you don't tie all your eggs to that basket, you know? Yeah, go make your Pirates money, because if she's gonna lead Pirates, she's gonna, whether it bombs or does well, she's going to get a fat paycheck from Disney for that. So, and then let's be realistic about the women in Hollywood. A lot of women that come up in Hollywood that are known for their looks are only as popular as their looks hold out. And I'm not saying that Margot Robbie doesn't have a career that's going to last 20 or 30
Say,
years.
those looks are gonna last for a while, my friend.
No, they aren't. Looks don't last forever. She got 5 years, 10 years till she starts looking older. And Hollywood judges you very harshly by that. And if you're known for looking like an attractive young woman and that goes away, all of a sudden your roles dry up. I mean, that's not being sexist. That's just, I mean, that's a commonly known problem in Hollywood. Women speak out about it all the time. So, I mean, Margot Robbie got famous from being a bombshell. Like, that is what she was known for. So it's gonna kind of be tough for her. That's what I say, make her money while she can, because she doesn't know if she's gonna break out into a leading actress that isn't known for her looks. Because I guarantee you, if you mention Margot Robbie to anyone, the first thing they're gonna talk about is her looks.
I feel like in a way that was almost what she tried to do with Birds of Prey.
Yeah, it was to get away from Harley Quinn being all scantily clad and like a sexual object. Yeah.
Like she wanted to focus on the character and the acting.
Definitely.
And I don't even, and it's not even entire, like there's nothing bad about that movie that has to do with her. To a degree.
She said it. She said in her interviews
it was
that
the piecing together.
Yeah, she didn't want to wear scantily clad clothes anymore for that role or whatever, and that's fine. And Birds of Prey, a lot of people say it's a pretty good movie, but it just, I don't know if it wasn't marketed well or what. Like, people did not go see that movie. So
I mean, I watched it. It was decent. We talked about it.
But when you're talking about the future
ago,
of that franchise, I feel like now it's just a big question mark. You know, when you're not profitable, when you're not a big hit, you know, the only reason Suicide Squad 2 exists is because Suicide Squad 1 did so well.
That's true. Suicide Squad 2 needs.
Is that even?
They almost need to nail it. But I mean, they still have James Gunn.
Yeah, and 80 other actors. I mean, it's just I feel like that's almost like a project.
Guardians of the Galaxy was this big, like, there's no way this can work. There's tons of people in it. And it's still arguably one of the best Marvel films that's been made. It's definitely, I think, probably top 3 standalones.
True, but what's the near talking about Suicide Squad 2? I mean, is there even media out related to that film? Like, is there anything out about it other than like a cast and a director? So, and with COVID going on at this point, it might as well just be like, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it just never came out. Like, if that movie got shelved.
Why? What do they have that they would shelve it for? Because you replace movies when you shelve them.
It's vaporware. It's the vaporware of films. Well, all I'm saying is because Birds of Prey did poorly. So now you're looking at like that as a studio, you're just looking at the bottom line. You go, well, maybe this wasn't as profitable as we thought. And didn't James Gunn get like removed from the project and added again?
Yeah, that was during the whole James Gunn controversy. He got removed from everything.
It just seems like it already has a rocky footing to start with. I just can't see Suicide Squad 2 being like this big massive hit that knocks it out of the park. So that's just me though. Maybe it's because DC messes up everything they touch. I don't know. Did you see Ben Affleck signed his contract for HBO Max? For Batman, I guess, for the Snyder cut.
What, they gave people contracts for this?
Yeah, I think I guess for his reshoots or whatever. I saw that today, actually. Am I wrong? Am I just making this up?
It seems like they would already be under contract and they would already own the rights to that footage. I don't understand why in the world they would need to...
Why would... Yeah, you would have to re-sign a contract because that's done. I mean, they can't just make you come back from a movie they're recutting. Like, all right, we need you to shoot more footage. Like,
no, I was never... Yeah, but I'm saying I was never under the impression that they were reshooting footage for the Snyder Cut. I
Yeah.
thought the argument was the fact that Snyder already had basically an hour worth of footage that wasn't used. And
21 hours ago, Ben Affleck signs Batman contract for HBO Max.
But why?
To return as Batman, and Affleck will be involved in additional appearances related to HBO Max and Zack Snyder's Justice League movie. Maybe HBO Max.
I think it's promotional.
It might be, and maybe HBO Max does the Ben Affleck solo Batman movie. I mean, I'm okay with that.
I mean, if you do a
down.
contract, if you sign a contract, it's specifically for that scope of work.
Yeah.
You can't have someone be like, well, 20 years ago you did Batman and we're going to do a new version.
Yeah, Michael Keaton. It's time
It's a
to
new
get
contract.
back. Yeah. So if he had any reshoots or any new footage that they wanted to add, maybe that Zack Snyder didn't have time for, they're going to have to sign another contract to, hey, come on and shoot this stuff. So I don't have any problem.
No,
with
based
that.
on that argument, no movie could ever release like an extended cut or a director's cut.
No, but that
Because
movie
the
got
work
No,
they did was covered.
You're wrong, because the footage is done. Like Mike just said, it's finished. You did have an hour on the floor, or maybe a director's cut is usually the cut the director brought the studios before the studios
Like,
recut it.
down.
Yeah, to make it, this is the studio cut. We think this works a lot better. And as a director, you go, okay, that's fine. So no, you don't have to sign another contract because it's all done, like Mike said. With the Snyder cut, you're talking about a project that he quit due to family issues, like 90% of the way through.
From would be a better way.
Stepped away, yeah. He just had stuff going on, and the movie was maybe 80-70% done, and you have Whedon come over. So yeah, there might be just stuff that wouldn't make sense without additional footage. Like he just never got around to shooting that.
They never claimed that it was complete. I mean, if it was complete, they would have never had Joss Whedon come on. But yeah, there was still. They said most of it was there, but there were still reshoots that needed to be done to complete his. So.
And they got to touch up. They got to do a lot of CGI work, to my understanding.
I guess we'll see. I'm just surprised to hear the fact that they are signing contracts to finish a different version of a film they already released.
I don't know. I think Ben Affleck liked that role. I think he wants to be a good Batman. I mean, who wouldn't want to be Batman? And
Henry
who wouldn't
Cavill,
want to
felt the same as well.
Yeah, these people want to do justice to their characters and not just be remembered as oh, well, that sucked.
That's a good. I like that. They want to do justice to the Justice League film.
Yeah, exactly. Not just be well, that was crap. That was not good. And the Justice League movie is not good. It's not a good movie.
I have to touch on it, whether y'all follow it or not, but the Dr. Disrespect controversy.
See, I just don't know. People still don't know why he's banned. I don't know who Dr. Disrespect is, but people still say, why is he banned? Why is he banned? People don't know why he's banned.
Essentially, a short synopsis is Dr. Disrespect was someone who always wanted to be in the gaming community. He became active making Call of Duty videos, I think in the early 2000s. And he would do random character voice overs. And one of the characters was this Dr. Disrespect character. He essentially got notoriety through that.
Are you giving me the synopsis for who Dr. Disrespect is?
Yes. He then joined one of the companies, because there are so fucking many that make Call of Duty games, and helped make not Modern Warfare, I think Advanced Warfare, whatever the fucking
the futuristic one is. Yeah.
The 2010-ish, 2011-ish, I think one. He was a community manager and then became a level designer, but then he moved on to just become Dr. Disrespect on Twitch. And then in March, he signs a multi-year, and according to Slasher, multi-million-dollar per year contract. And then as of 5 days ago, he gets banned for life from Twitch. Reports are saying for life, even though Twitch has not officially said why. And Dr. Disrespect has come out and claimed that Twitch has not told him why. So you have one of their biggest streamers they signed for a multi-year, multiple millions per year contract. That's just dropped. And no one wants to fucking say why.
Do they have
As a lot of streamers have said, not only is it odd, but it's also kind of fucking scary.
You're on their
Right,
platform,
scary.
man.
Yeah, they could ban you if they just wanted to. I mean, I know that's a messed up thing to say, but yeah, if you're on, you're on the Drunk, Nerdy, and Stoned Facebook page, and I don't like your comment, I could delete it. I mean, does that make it right? Does that go into like a moral questions? Absolutely, but yeah, it's yours. It's your property. If you own Twitch, you can just say, I don't like you, banned. I mean, obviously that's not good business.
I mean,
practice.
imagine you're the owner of these platforms. You set out rules or whatever. You typically reserve the right to control things at the very end. So
Yeah, but they won't even say why.
maybe that's a clause. They don't have to say why.
But again, and Twitch hasn't notified him on the reason either. And while
people have called bullshit on that he says that Twitch hasn't said anything. Twitch won't say anything at all. They just said that under this if you violate the rules and regulations, that we do have to terminate people from time to time. Like, they were very vague and corporate in their response.
Yeah, I know a lot of people thought it might have been linked to like all the people getting banned for sexual abuse claims and stuff like that. But if that was the case, that would just be like public knowledge by now, I feel like.
People would have been in track it down and been like, oh,
yeah,
this person accused him
of this and da-da-da, yeah.
But there's none of that. There's also been wild claims that he was opening up his own streaming service with fucking Ninja and Shroud, which also seems absurd because, yes, they all got paid recently, but okay, they're millionaires compared to Twitch, who is owned by Amazon. Good luck.
And to your credit, Mike, yeah, you can be banned from that site for literally anything. And no, you don't have to give a reason. But I guess it's a bad look when, yeah, your top streamer can, that's like saying like, oh, Shroud or Ninja or any of these people, oh, hey, we banned you. Why? Oh, we just did. Like, we don't, you're talking about someone that's pulling in like fucking 50,000 viewers. It just doesn't, I feel like you have to give an explanation or else like, what's the point of your platform? What's the point of your platform if you're just gonna randomly like ban people and not give any explanation? Like, don't you want streamers to have big numbers and bring in advertising dollars and do all this stuff? So again, if he did something that was breaking your code of conduct, if you type in Dr. Disrespect right now on Google, literally like the things that come up are, the 3 top headlines. Forbes, 1 day ago, ban raises more questions than answers. ESPN, Dr. Disrespect's Twitch ban, what we do and don't know. BBC News, the mystery surrounding his Twitch ban. Like, you're opening up a can of worms by simply not saying like what he did, Now there's a microscope on it. Like, what's the reason? And I would imagine that if it's something bad, like I said, like some kind of sexual abuse scandal or something like that, I don't think Twitch would have any problem saying like, look, it's not like they would have to go into detail, but just, you could literally just say he violated the code of conduct. Like, we have evidence, our lawyers have evidence saying he broke the code of conduct, and now he's not allowed on our streaming platform. And then the ball's kind of in his court. But when you just say nothing, that's very strange.
I still feel like that would raise questions.
Sure, but you've made no statement. You know what I mean? And no one knows why you did it. So, I don't know. Maybe he knows why he did it, you know?
Yeah, and then the only statement that he's made was to flat out call them out and say that they haven't told him. Whether or not they did, there's some reason that he made that tweet. Because I do not believe for a second. I mean, individuals like him and the bigger streamers, they have managers, they have attorneys that represent them. Like, I guarantee you there's behind the scenes lawsuits or adjudication that's taking place. For him to call them out publicly on Twitter is, I think, a legal move to try to get them to admit their reasoning. It's to try to put them in the hot seat because he thinks they're not justified.
They don't have to be justified.
And as Mike just said, yeah, realistically,
they don't have to be justified legally. But if what they did to him seems publicly negative and will shine
it is negative.
Will put them in a bad. It will put them in a bad light. Then he's like, please tell everyone why y'all ban me. Do it.
I would argue,
and we'll see who comes out of this on top.
I would rather Twitch is probably saying, we know what we're losing. We know what we know what views this person brings in. If anyone knows, it's going to be Twitch. And regardless of all that, they still decided to let him go.
My mind says I think he thinks that their justification is not good enough, and were that to be made public, it would shine a negative light on them. Outside of the advertising dollars that they get off of him, they go, yeah, we can cut you, but he's like, tell others why you banned me, and let's see if all the other streamers feel safe.
That's like someone who's been fired. That's like someone who's been fired. That's like, tell me why you fired me.
Yeah, exactly. You want to go get your last word in. That's the way you're making it sound. You're not making it sound good, Adam. I'll say that. Like, yeah,
I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying it's going to be sloppy and messy, and I think that's the idea.
Or you just never say anything. And again, I don't agree with them banning someone with no reason. But as Mike is saying, like, they clearly have a reason, and they don't want to slug it out in the court of public opinion. So he's banned. I guarantee you he knows why he's banned. He just, like you said, wants them to publicly say it so there can be this big fight. You know, oh, now in the court of public opinion, I'm the winner.
Does it make it okay? No. Does it?
Yeah.
You know, but unfortunately, I mean, how much does it cost to start up, to stream directly to the internet on your own platform? Like,
yeah, I'm sure he streams on YouTube and stuff.
That's a stupid amount of money. Like, you're it's the deal with the devil that you make when you agree to terms with these platforms.
Did he get his money for his deal, Adam? Do you what was the deal that he signed?
No one knows. It was a Twitch called it I think maybe it was Dr. Disrespect. But I'm pretty sure Twitch called it a major multi-year deal. And then Slasher, who's basically known as the go-to for insider information, he's like the main reporter on everything streaming in esports, said that it was multiple millions guaranteed per year.
Well,
so it's multiple millions per year, and it's multiple years. It was in March. So even like 3 months into that, it's possible that he's cleared 750.
That's what I was about to say. Well, I mean, if it's guaranteed money, if it's a Tom Brady, you get your paycheck. Look, if you want to sign Tom to $20 million and fire him next month, if he gets the money, I mean, it sounds like.
I highly doubt that it was guaranteed. I'm sure he was probably paid like
a salary. I'm sure that was some guaranteed money on top.
Yeah, but
look, like Mike said, you're a streamer, boy. If you could have got away with fucking $500,000 off the top and still get fired, man. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, look at sports teams. You mentioned Tom Brady. They don't have to give Tom Brady a reason as to why they let him go.
Yep.
That's just it. You fulfilled it. That's
it. And the media's gonna have their talks. That's actually kind of a good segue with Bill Belichick and Well, I know we
that,
wanted to hit on Tom a little bit, but the Bill Belichick and Tom Brady thing, it's all just hearsay. People inside the organization say this, and that. But guess what? Because no one comes out and says the reasons why they split, it's, in 2 or 3 years from now, people like hardcore fans will remember. But for the most part, people will just be like, oh, they went their separate ways. Like, it's not going to be this big, ugly drama that the media tried to make it. I mean, ESPN every day.
But in 5 to 10, you don't think we're gonna have the truth?
We might, but by then it's not going to be a big of a deal. They'll just run a 30 for 30, and everyone will be like, "Oh wow, those guys really didn't like."
Yeah, because both of them will not be in the league anymore. So
exactly, so it won't affect anyone. But because you just kept it hush hush, it's like people point fingers, and the media wants it to be a big deal, but it never becomes a big deal.
I guarantee you'd get in trouble.
And I guarantee you that's what Twitch is doing. Twitch just doesn't want it. If it comes out in time that, or even if Dr. Disrespect said, this is why I think I'm banned, he's, that's, it actually might be a smart move on Twitch. Let's say that he got banned for, I don't know. I'm going to just name something off the top of my head. Maybe he was having sexual conversations with like a 16-year-old or something. So by Twitch not saying anything, this is just, none of that's proven. But by Twitch not saying whatever it is, it means that Dr. Disrespect has to defend his reason why he got banned himself. Because if he's just sitting here saying like, so he can say, I don't know why I got banned forever. Or if he wanted to take Twitch to the court of public opinion, he has to be like, look, I don't think I did anything wrong. I think this is why they banned me. You see how it could be clever, how them like not saying anything, it makes him, if he's going to defend his position, if he really knows why he's being banned, he has to now defend it.
I mean, what platform's going to want to pick him up and pay him money after he gets let go? And this is all professional. This is a professional company. He's getting paid to do this. I mean, I'm sorry, but if I'm going to hire a Twitch streamer and I know that if I fire this guy or terminate his contract or whatever, that he's going to go put my platform on blast, like, that's really immature.
Ninja put Twitch on blast.
I don't know any of these people.
Ninja's worth
Ninja was
$20 million
yeah.
now.
He's literally like the biggest streamer. Ninja was the biggest streamer on Twitch at the time before he signed a contract with Mixer, which is now closed down. He's just the kid with blue hair that played with Drake. That's who the fuck Ninja is. He played Fortnite. And what did he say about Twitch when he went to Mixer? I mean,
he basically just took the opportunity because he was no longer on the platform to say everything that he thought was wrong with it. And then Twitch had nothing to say to Ninja. All they did was close down his channel and moved on.
That's fine. You know what I would say to Ninja if I was Twitch? I'd say, I'm sorry that you were making $7 million a year on our platform and ad revenue. I guess we're criminals. I'm sorry that you played a video game and were clearing almost 8 figures a year. My bad. I guess we should have given you more money. Like, and sure, and in his mind, there might be things that Twitch could do better. But like I say, I mean, you're not playing a video game competitively. You are just playing a video game and clearing this ad revenue. Twitch doesn't have to give you ad revenue.
Imagine if you're working for someone and you tell your boss how that they should do things better at their company.
Yeah, but how many of us have had a job where you want to tell your boss how to do things at their company?
Oh, of course.
You're right.
But you're going to get fired if you do that. And
guess what? I guarantee you at my job, I'm not making what Dr. Disrespect was just on his donations and Twitch revenue. Let's be realistic, dude. I don't know the guy, but I know he was very popular. That man could probably never work another day in his life and be fine if he wasn't terrible with his money.
True.
So at the end of the day, it sucks that his gravy train's over, and it sucks that he's not getting like this closure. But maybe I'll be the one to say it. Look, you see what Ninja came out and said as soon as he got hired by Mixer, he came out and said, "This is all the dirty laundry that I think about Twitch." If Dr. Disrespect got banned and he really thought it was for nothing, I guarantee you he wouldn't just be saying, I want them to come out and tell me what's the matter. He would be roasting them if he had no skeletons in his closet. Because why wouldn't you?
It's a fair argument.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? If you were accused or let go and you were just you would be like, this company is a piece of shit. Like, they are terrible. Like, you would kill them on Twitter. But as is, you're just being quiet and saying, they haven't given me a reason. Like, I don't know. It looks
that would
fishy
be the
to me.
definition of a disgruntled employee.
Anyway, Tom Brady on Tampa Bay. Yeah, I guess.
No,
Wait,
fuck Tom
no,
Brady,
Cam
Cam
Newton.
Newton.
Cam Newton is.
Fuck Tom Brady. He's old news at this point.
Yeah, you're right.
Cam Newton to the Patriots.
I mean, I guess it's cool. I think it's really going to work out for the Patriots. I think the Patriots just became a playoff team again.
I like Cam Newton. I don't understand the struggles that he'd had. I guess it's just the organization that's been around him that have put him in an organization like the Patriots with the weapons and the coaching staff. Superman might be back. I'm excited to see
if injuries haven't. This will really be the test to see if Cam still has it. Because clearly, I mean, I was saying it. I think I said it on one of these podcasts where we talked about the NFL a lot. I think that when he was on Carolina, I basically thought he was done. I think he had too many injuries, especially this last year when you saw him on Carolina. It did not look like he was the Cam Newton of old that could throw that bomb. That being said, though, you put him on a system like the Patriots where I've pointed out that they protected Tom Brady for 20 years.
All day, if he has all day.
And the Patriots have no problem with Tom. Tom's under pressure. Just nil. Just take a knee. Just slide. Do not get hit. So if they still have that attitude with Cam, and Cam can stay healthy and not have to worry about, oh, my coach is going to yell at me if I don't run 5 yards and get sacked and break my shoulder again.
But he still has the ability that if it was like, I don't know.
Yeah, he's still a big guy, is what you're saying.
If it's if it's 3rd and 2 or something, it's still with that offensive line. He has the option of, instead of just kneeling like, oh, we'll take it next possession. No, he has the ability to go 2 yards and get the first.
The 2022 season is going to be amazing. Can't wait for it.
2022.
I worry because I was talking about it at work. Like, these storylines are great, but we don't even know that we're going to get a football season this year.
Until they say it's not going to happen, I'm going to believe that it will, because if they cancel football, then I'm just going to be like,
I don't see how they can.
If the fear of coronavirus is
make them sign waivers and put them in a camp.
That's it. No, you're absolutely right.
No agent is ever going to recommend, hey, sign this thing that says if you get coronavirus, oh well. Like, I mean, responsible.
But no, I know what you're saying, Mike. But to Adam's credit, that is, in my mind, that's the only way this season moves forward. Because if you're basing your season around on your players not getting COVID, there is no way. There's just too many moving parts in the NFL. Even if you don't have fans, it's
too many players in the NFL.
That's exactly why I think that. And I don't think that players are going to be okay with getting COVID.
I think a lot will. I think
Zeke made it sound like it was nothing. He was worried about his family members, not himself. So if you isolate the players, and shorten the season, put them in a
Mission Impossible right here.
I mean, it will never happen because, again, I kind of agree with Mike. Look, personally, I don't think that NFL players are really at, like, and personal opinion, I don't think NFL players are at a major health risk of getting, like, if they contracted COVID, I don't think that they would be killed by it. Maybe, but, you know,
people with some random underlying heart conditions that
they didn't know about or something. But in the court of public opinion, no one is going to be okay. Like, the NFL really cares what people think about it. And there's no way that they're going to come out and say, we're fine with all of our players getting COVID, make a season happen. Like, you can't spin that. Like, it just doesn't work. But I say that though, but people really care about what happens to the NFL and Starbucks and all their favorite things, and most things don't get traction. I mean, I'm not joking. Most things in this country do not get traction if it does not affect your sports seasons. Stories come up and die, and it has no bearing. As long as the NFL is running, no one cares. But the NFL is not running, and you really need it to. So
bread and circuses, Jason. Bread and circuses.
You're absolutely,
and that's circus.
You're right. It's the gladiatorial arena that fucking 1/5 of Americans watch. You need it to be on, especially now. And I wouldn't be surprised if they'll maybe the government will step in and be like, look, we're gonna build you stadiums and you guys are gonna come play here. Like, I don't know how they got.
Who was the tennis player who tried to
Djokovic has coronavirus because he ran a charity tennis tournament, I think on his island. He's from some country and he ran it and then he got coronavirus. But again, I mean, he's fine.
Did you read his statement? I did.
I didn't. I actually didn't read his statement.
He basically said that we felt that we could do this in a safe way and we took all the precautions possible, and we deeply regret that we were wrong.
Meanwhile, there's photos next to said statement done by news organizations where they're all out clubbing and dancing and partying, and they're like, you do this in a safe way, really?
And his wife tested negative for COVID, and
was it their finals? The finals of the tournament was canceled because one of the finalists tested positive. That was the big, like, blow the lid off incident, if I remember the article correctly.
Novak Djokovic 3 hours ago and his wife Jalen have tested negative for COVID-19 9 days after returning a positive test. They tested positive after playing in the Adrian Tour, an exhibition tournament organized by the 17-time Grand Slam champion. I think the dude just wants to play
current world number one.
He still is. He's still number one.
I'm just trying to say, if they took all the correct precautions.
In a tennis match, I definitely see what you're saying. When, like, there's just not many. You can do a tennis match with as little as 2 people. You know what I mean? So how many people were involved in this charity organization with no crowd, and you still come back like positive?
Well, how many?
The problem is they all went out and partied and stuff. Like, there was no isolation.
But how many people are involved with making the NFL work? From wiping down the seats to,
probably tens of thousands.
Making the food for the football players, like,
if you take every team, add every player, add staff, add stadium staff.
So much interactions.
There's at least 10, probably 20 or greater thousand employees if you count all the above: players, staff, coaching, people that work the stadiums, janitorials, tickets,
and that's what Fauci said. Fauci said, "I don't understand how it's going to be possible unless it's played like in a bubble."
It's the biggest sport in the country. And then you have to think about people leaving the stadiums, if they even had people. The economies of surrounding restaurants and hotels. I don't know. Jason's was joking when he said the government building stadiums for them, but to be honest, the local economies surrounding the stadiums, to have them not operate for 1 year, for an entire season, would be catastrophic.
Yeah, and I wonder, as someone from Serbia, Novak Djokovic, I don't know why I couldn't say his name. I imagine that tennis, he's a big deal over there, and I wonder, in his hometown and stuff, I'm sure there are negative effects of him not playing tennis. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about that. Maybe he's just thinking about his community. I think you're right. I don't know. I kind of agree with Mike. I don't know how the NFL is I don't know how you could safely do it. I mean,
Once again, it's the NFL. Fuck safety.
I agree with you. I mean, I agree with you. They hit their heads together.
Their slogan is literally safety first.
They say that, but when
They
I
give each
watch
other the brain damage.
yeah, when I watch the football games, it sure doesn't look like a
You're not
safe
supposed
game.
to
they're
tackle
playing.
with your head. Supposed to
That's a
tackle with your
flag.
body.
15 yards. 15 yards. Concussion. Here you go. So yeah, I mean, players get sick all the time. I don't know what to say. I mean,
If brain damage is okay, lifelong illness that caused you to potentially become homicidal, if not, or suicidal,
you're
if not
correct.
homicidal.
You're absolutely correct.
I'm pretty sure we can have players get sick.
Yeah, but you don't. Yeah, but the problem with what you're
Give them
talking
facilities.
about
If they decide to go home and be around their family members and they get their family members sick, that's on them.
What do you mean that's on them? That's not like that's.
No, you warn them and say there are facilities set aside for you to stay in. If you
But
choose
again,
to go home,
That's not realistic.
I agree with you, Adam. I agree with what you're saying. That shit will never slide in public opinion. Like, that will never work. People would be calling your organization like Hitler or something. Like, dude, people crucify people for not wearing masks outside. People that don't wear a mask in a grocery store are a fucking pariah on social media. And you're telling me that the NFL is going to just
and then absolutely,
it.
everyone with the helmets, like every helmet has like the full face guard. There's already some players that use it, just make it mandatory.
There's just no way.
I mean, unless the football players keep their helmets on 24/7 and are walking around with their helmets on, like, I don't, that's going to help them maybe in the football game. But what about all the other interactions that they're going to have?
Yeah, but the only reason they take it off is to be comfortable. So whenever you're on the field, like if you're on green grass, your helmet just stays on. I'm sorry, you have to keep a helmet on for like fucking 3 hours. You get paid tens of $millions a year. Get over it.
It only works in the NBA model, which is you test everyone. Everyone that's positive can play, or everyone that's negative can play. Everyone that tests positive can't. And then you run an isolated season for like a month or two. I mean, it's the only way it works.
It'll be bullshit season though, because they'll go, well, the only reason this team lost is because
I know.
That's why it's not going to happen. That's why it's not going to happen.
You know what you could actually do now that I'm thinking about this? You can do exactly what I just said, but instead of running, you have to run games closer together. You would have to be playing 2 games a week, not 1 game a week. And I know that's crazy because football is like so physical, but that's the only way it works, unless you're going to have like an 8-game season. You would have to run like 10 games in 6 weeks and do the playoffs in like 2 weeks. That's how you could have a season. You could have a 2-month season, 10 games regular season, 2-week playoffs.
So you guys don't think, like, let's just say the season starts and one football player does come down with COVID. You don't think that that's going to be the end of the season right there?
I think that you're right. I think
you do compacted season. 1 month off for people that are in the playoffs, and they're isolated because you made it to the playoffs. And then a compacted playoff, and then an isolation for the 2 people doing the Super Bowl. And then you you make sure that people in the playoffs have been in a bubble, so they couldn't have contracted it, or if they did contract it, they're over it.
But Mike is right. I mean, even the first person that pops positive, and there's so many moving parts in the NFL, as soon as you get a positive pop, you think it's just got to be one person who comes back positive? Like, no way.
No. They're going to test everyone once someone comes back positive.
And so what do you do when players start testing positive? You just throw them out of the game and just keep going?
I don't know.
That's what I would say. I would say yes. That's what you have to do.
You'd have to IR, put them on IR, basically.
Yeah, they're on IR for 14 days or 21 days till they come back with a negative test. You test them every week till they come back negative. They do not play. And I mean, you could realistically run a season like that.
And they also cannot practice
unless half the team gets infected. You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about maybe 1 or 2.
because one
And
person
what happens
has
when you
it.
can't field a team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they go into the locker room, then you forfeit. Sorry,
What
guys.
a great
that's
season. What a
that's
great
a big F.
season.
We'll be talking about it. You know, if teams are having to forfeit weeks because all their players are sick, that shit would go down in the history books. It'd be a historic season.
People would be so mad. People would be so mad.
I'd take it over no football, honestly.
People would be like,
Yeah,
why are they even doing this? Why
I
is
would
it-
agree with Adam.
So you would rather see them try the season and then see the Cowboys forfeit to the Eagles
for a week or two
because they don't have
so many
enough
sick
players.
Yeah,
Like
Because
people would not
everyone,
fly with
everyone
that.
would know that this season's sort of a wash anyway. This is more of like, it's just sort of a for fun season. Like, it's for the love of the game.
Nothing about the NFL is fun.
Season.
Nothing about the NFL is for fun.
You don't put money down on fantasy this year. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, that'd be fun, dude. Watching fantasy teams just shit, my player got. It wouldn't be injuries; it'd be Corona. You'd be like, half of my team has Corona this week. I'm out. Bye weeks.
I think it would be a glorious shit show.
Okay.
On that
note,
I still think no, but to close it out, I do think that the NFL is so big. I guarantee they have teams of people figuring out how to make. They're not gonna miss a season. I mean, the NFL, if baseball can work and NBA can work, you better believe the NFL is gonna figure it out.
Yeah, and baseball is pretty fucking large as well.
Yeah, baseball's really big. I mean, it might even have more personnel than the. No, not more personnel than the NFL, but baseball is very big.
how many indoor stadiums for baseball are there?
What
I mean, indoor stadiums don't even matter as much, but you still have plenty of player-to-player contact on the field.
Not like football.
No, not to the same degree. Absolutely not. But there's still a large amount of players and staff on each team where if one or two people were to get Corona, it could spread.
I think the NFL.
And whenever you're standing on a base talking to the baseman or having someone breathe on you for a couple of minutes.
I don't know how, like, even if, okay, imagine you go to the grocery store and you get into a physical altercation with someone when you have a mask on. 99% of that time, that mask is going to be ripped off or smudged off. All I'm trying to say is imagine these athletes trying to run around and perform with some sort of mask on or something. Like, it's going to get in their way. It's going to get ripped off. It's going to get damaged. It's going to cause...
No, if anything, football can do it easier than baseball can because you're already wearing a helmet and there are already football players that basically wear a full fucking, like, face guard.
They still are going to have to...
inside their helmet.
They're still going to have to wear another mask, though. I mean, people in the hospital, they have face shields, but they also wear the mask.
I mean, they train with fucking mask on, so...
Yeah, but the NFL has been talking about having to use masks for their players. I mean, I agree with you guys. I think they're going to try.
It's going to be like a fucking Velcro, like with vents and shit. Like, it's going to be a much more high-tech version that players themselves are honestly probably used to actually training in because of the, like, it helps your, like, lungs build up.
Yeah, it's an oxygen trainer, basically. It works out your diaphragm. But
I would be something similar, but something that's not as restrictive on oxygen flow. So they're already used to having something on their face, but you have a different version where they can breathe more easily.
Yeah, but when you have like these huge athletes knocking each other around and stuff like that, you're trying to pay attention to the game, you're trying to hold on to the ball, and you're trying not to have your mask come off. Like, I don't know, there's just too many variables for this to work. Like, I see the NFL pushing up to the very last day that they can to be like, oh, we can't do this. We tried everything we could to make this work, but we'll see.
I think they're definitely going to try to make it work. Like, they're gonna do everything in their
We're gonna
power.
have. I know the way I say it. We're gonna have a game or two. They will But they're fucking stubborn as shit. They're gonna try to make it work unless a plague breaks out amongst the league and they're like throw their hands
You think
up.
it's gonna
But I
take a
guarantee
plague?
it.
It's not gonna be just one person.
No. These are fucking 100 millionaires and billionaires that own these teams. Like, you think they give a fuck about a few of their players getting sick?
No, but I bet they care about their staff getting sick and everybody else or more football players on their team getting sick.
Yeah, like I said, I guarantee you they're going to make it. They're going to try to make it work no matter what. And then we're going to see what happens. And if people start getting sick, then we're going to see how they react.
I mean, they say for every confirmed case, there's 10 others that are unconfirmed. I don't see why that wouldn't apply to the NFL. That's why I feel like
I'm not saying it's wise.
No, I'm just saying I think that's why one case would be enough to shut down the NFL.
That's true as possible.
Yeah, I think once it starts, it's like, I mean, it is how a virus spreads. Maybe you get lucky and one case is isolated. What realistically, if they test one guy, you're coming back with quite a few. If you get a positive, you're coming back with a lot of positives.
Yep.
Would y'all have anything else for this week?
Nope.
Capcom and NetherRealms pulled out of Evo 2020, like as of 15 minutes ago, because of sexual abuse allegations because of the Evo organizer. God, everyone's getting canned. It's all over.
That sounds like a good segue for the after show. So if people want to hear about that.
Oh boy.
We talked about sexual abuse last week and the widespread sexual harassment charges in the gaming industry. That's some extra content you can check out on our Patreon.
Yeah, if you want to feel happy and cheerful, go listen to that.
Well, we'll just talk about how you can't run from a virus. How the virus is going to kill everyone. Okay.
So, Mike, where can everyone find you at?
The internet.
The NFL.
At _Renrag?
Sure.
The _Renrag.
Jason is Cantaloupe at nowhere.
Hey, find me on Steam.
You can find him on Steam.
There you go.
You can find me at AlienXTV, Twitter, Instagram. My Twitch is almost done. Might hopefully start some streams this week. But as far as Nerdy Drunken Stone is concerned, that is going to be all for this week. So please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about us. If you want to get notifications every week, you can bang that bell icon right down there, shaped like a bell. It's right next to subscribe. Just click. You'll get updates every week. For extra content, you can go to our Patreon, which we just spoke about. Nerdy Drunken Stoned as well for the after show. So, go to Patreon, subscribe, check out the after show, and then we will see you right here on YouTube next week. Goodbye.
Bye.